last day of Pride tomorrow. We have to go, I was gonna say back to being straight, but I don't know if there was ever a back to go back to. So today's video, final video of Pride, is a bit of a retrospective. I decided I want to look at all the BL series I've both read and watched over the years and determine if my feelings on any of them have changed retroactively. I'm gonna say each series, I'm gonna say the score that I gave it. I'm either gonna agree with that score and like briefly elaborate why, say why I disagree with that score and what new score I would give it along with why, or I'm gonna say I'm not 100% sure on how I feel and that I need to revisit it, as well as if I plan to revisit it or not. All right, number one is always going to be number one. In fact, it is right above me. Ginger Romantica. Apparently, I gave Ginger Romantica the first season an 8, a second season a 9, and the third season a 10. Have my feelings changed? I'm gonna say no and yes. Already breaking rules. No, because I still fucking love Ginger Romantica. I would say the only thing that has generally changed in my opinion of Ginger Romantica, when I first watched it, I was very much Junjo egoist, but I remember when I rewatched it like at least 4 or 5 years ago, I was like firmly Junjo terrorist. But it is also because I feel like I would probably just give it 10 across all the different seasons, but I also don't know. I would need to revisit it for that. But have my feelings changed in the most general sense? No, I still very much enjoy it. Hey Class President, what a number 2 to be. Hey Class President, I gave a 6. I definitely do need to revisit Hey Class President, but at the same time, I know that I generally enjoyed it in retrospect. I feel like I would at least give it a 7 now. That's just personally how I feel. The Tyrant Falls in Love, I gave a 1. The main reason why I don't like The Tyrant Falls in Love is because I don't care for either of those characters. I think they're both annoying. My favorite of all time, Sekaiichi Hatsukoi, I gave it a 10. I think I gave it a 10 for all the seasons and for the movie. I think the only thing I've given less than a 10, according to this that I wrote down briefly, is Proposed 10, which I gave a 9. Have my feelings changed? No. I fucking love Sekaiichi Hatsukoi. It's my favorite BL anime of all time. With what we have been getting, I don't see that ever being surpassed, quite frankly. Hybrid Child, I gave it 10. My feelings have not changed. I still fucking love Hybrid Child. As I've said, I mean, y'all know I love Shungiku Nakamura. I find just like her creating that concept and then like the execution of that concept and like the interworld emotions related to having fallen in love with someone who's a hybrid child. Like I find all of that incredibly like masterful, even though I do prefer Sekaiichi, but I do absolutely love Hybrid Child. It absolutely deserves the 10 I gave it. Love Stage, I gave a 10 apparently when I first watched it. I would probably give Love Stage an 8? It's weird to me to look that I gave Love Stage a 10. Like, I don't have any hate for Love Stage. I very much enjoyed it for what it was. Maybe a 9, but definitely not a 10. Super Lovers is a 10. Super Lovers will forever be a 10. Super Lovers is hilarious. Regardless of how you feel about the relationship or the ethics of fiction and shit, and like, you don't have that same energy for all the age gaps and straight shit made for men, because the Domekano age gap, I think, is either the same or larger than Super Lovers, but let me not. It's the end of Pride. I don't want to fight yet. July is tomorrow. We'll fight then. Hitorajime My Hero, I gave a 7. I loved Hitorajime Boyfriend. I just didn't care for Hitorajime My Hero. Kosuke, I don't love. The weepy guy with blonde hair, I forget his name. I don't love him either. But I did remember net enjoying it. So I think 7 makes sense. Gravitation, I gave a 6. I need to revisit Gravitation. At the time, I was just like consuming shit. And I feel like I would give Gravitation like kind of like what I did with Finder, where I would like really like want to look at Gravitation and see how I feel now. I feel like in theory I would probably give it at least a 7. I don't think I disliked it that much, but I gave it a 6, so that's kind of surprising. Doukyuusei, I gave a 10. I don't give that a 10. It's not a 10. I would give it a 7 probably also as well. I know a lot of people really love that mangaka, whether for Doukyuusei or for their other works, but I don't love their art style. So that's like a big deterrent for me. I don't love either of those main characters, and so it's just like the fact that I gave it a 10 at the time, I mean, clearly I had not seen much. I know Kusabi, 1992 I gave a 5, 2012 I gave a 6. I think I did an I know Kusabi video this month, didn't I? I think I said in that I would probably change that to like a 6 and a 7, because I do respect I know Kusabi for what it is. Dakaichi, when I first watched Dakaichi, I gave it a 5. I did not enjoy Dakaichi the first time around. Dakaichi the second time around, I love, Dakaichi the movie, I love the Dakaichi movie. Dakaichi the main series probably gets at least a 9. I would probably say a 9 sounds about right. Spain Hen is like, mwah. Spain Hen was like, I was never attracted to Chunta. I was never at all ever attracted to Chunta until Spain Hen. Movie, I gave a 9. I would probably keep a 9. Maybe I would bump it up to a 10, but I should probably, you know what? I might rewatch the movie soon, actually. Papadate Shitai, I gave a 5, which seems really harsh. I would give, no, actually it doesn't, because Papadate Shitai, I feel like, didn't love the art style at all. I didn't love the relationship, and there definitely was not enough unclothed So I think I would probably give it a 6. Tightrope, I gave a 9. I didn't love the seme, even though I love their relationship, but I definitely enjoyed Tightrope. I would maybe give it an 8. All About Lust, or About Desire, because I think the manhwaka... I'm gonna continue to use that term. Gone on to say that they did not want it to be called All About Lust. They wanted it to be called About Desire. So let me not, dead name the manhwa. About Desire, I gave a 10. That's still a 10. That is still a 10. I might reread that before I get into the spinoff. Just because I fucking love About Desire. That shit is so fucking funny. His dick, his build! Yo, shit is funny as fuck. Complex by 10 is still a 10, although I do say that I do want to revisit Complex because it was my favorite BL anything of all time for the longest time until The Monster of Memory. But, I forgot to put visual novels in here, but I already talked about visual novels and games this month. We don't need to revisit it. I've read it the entire thing through at least 4 times, but I definitely want to revisit it sometime maybe this year for the sake of revisiting it because a lot has gone on since I last reread it. So I want to know if my feelings are still the same. And I think they definitely will be, but, sometimes you just want to reassess how you feel about a thing. A guy like you already talked about, I gave a 6. I'll go off of that because I have no intention of revisiting it. Love by Chance, the Thai drama, I gave it a 6, and I would say that's generally how I feel. I would maybe bump it down to a 5 just because I am not a drama kind of person. I literally do not watch live action anything at this point. I barely watch anything beyond anime. To be fucking frank, the only live action storytelling I'm consuming is adult time videos on YouTube or in general. I'm not watching Heated Rivalry, I'm not watching anything, you know what I'm saying? It's just not the type of media I desire to consume. I enjoy anime, I enjoy manga, I enjoy comic books, I enjoy manhwa, I enjoy webcomics, all that kind of shit. Shout out Eating Out. We need a new Eating Out in the Reiwa era. Here you are, I gave a 7. I'll stick by my 7 because Yu Yang I just did not like at all. Thinking about him in retrospect, I like him even less. He Tian, was it He Tian? Or is that the name of something later? I liked the blue-haired boy. And then the relationship with the bartender and the brat, I really enjoyed that. The third story that I think was unrequited, if I remember correctly, I think I remember distinctly enjoying that because I love a pine. Dark Heaven, I gave a 6. I would probably give Dark Heaven a 5. I just remember not loving Dark Heaven whatsoever. Walk on Water, oh, Jax. I gave a 9. I would probably give Walk on Water a 10. I don't know why I was so harsh on it. I love Walk on Water. Given the anime and the manga, I apparently both gave a 9. I would keep the manga at a 9. I would bump the anime down to an 8. The anime art, quite frankly, is disrespectful to Natsuki Kizu's art style. Manga, I would keep at a 9 just because, I think Natsuki Kizu is an incredible artist. I just wish she would draw something that I liked more. Star Fanboy, I gave a 10. I'd bump that down to an 8. I like Star Fanboy. I thought it was cute. It was funny. You know what? Maybe I'll revisit Star Fanboy one day, but I still think I would bump it down to an 8. At the End of the Road, I give a 6. I feel like I would bump that down to a 5 at least. I did not enjoy At the End of the Road, but it is something that I also feel like I should probably revisit. 19 Days, I gave a 10, but I also dropped 19 Days, so me giving it a 10 is quite the score to give something you dropped. I mean, I dropped it because it just was we get these 4-page chapters every month. I would give 19 Days a 8. I would give 19 Days a 8. Little Mo was my man. Paid by Fujo King, I gave an 8. I'd say I feel about the same about that. I enjoyed Paid by Fujo King. Fujo King is an enigma to me. I just remember when I was introduced to Paid that it was framed to me as oh, Fujo King is this huge BL author. And I've never come across another Fujo King title ever since. Scarlet Betiko's Jackass, I gave a 9. I feel like I would also bump that down to an 8. I don't remember really anything about it besides the cover. I don't know that I would give something that I only remember the cover for a 9. Saizuru Tori, The Twittering Birds Never Fly, I gave a 9. I gave the OVA an 8. I'm gonna say I stick with that because I do want to get to the manga because are we ever getting the second movie? Probably not. Till there's an official cancellation, I will not say it's canceled officially, but unofficially on the other hand. But 9 is an intro, sounds about right. OVA, I just didn't like that couple, but I still enjoyed it for what it was and I enjoyed the world, so that makes sense too. Finder manga, y'all know how I feel about the Finder manga. I talked about this literally in yesterday's video. Kazuku ni Naru yo manga and the prequel, I gave a 9. Prequel, I would say about an 8. I don't know that I'd say that the prequel was a 9. Ironically, I enjoyed the family story more than the romance story. Tadaima Okairi manga, I gave a 4. Bump that down to a 2. I just didn't enjoy Tadaima Okairi. I was I don't like any of you. Hot take, I don't think any of the babies are cute. You could have literally skipped the Bible part. I keep calling it the Bible, but you could literally skip the introduction, the manual for Omegaverse in that, and I think people would be able to figure out what's going on. Yamata to Shonen, I gave an 8. I'd give Yamada to Shonen a 4. I'd give Yamada to Shonen a 3. Boring. Didn't care. Ganbare Nakamura-kun, I gave a 10. I'd bump it down to a 9. 'Cause I really enjoyed the Ganbare Nakamura-kun manga. Favorite thing of all time, though, I wouldn't put it at a 10. My issue with it, for the most part, is the fucking meme being overdone to fucking death. I had no desire to engage with the anime. I think everything that happened with the anime was frankly horseshit in terms of like people bullying Shunde off Twitter. I really thought, and I in order, Chris. Think in order. It's insane to me that even Ganbare Nakamura-kun had like controversy around it. And I mean, ultimately, last I checked on my anime list, it had like an 8.2. So that's like one of the best ranked or rated BL anime of all time. And I love that for Shunde in retrospect. The love for the series persevered. Mizuno Ui no Ski, I gave it 9. I bumped that up to a 10. I bumped that up to a 10. You want to talk about controversial? I fucking love that one. Mizuno Ui no Ski is fucked up in the best way. I bumped that up to a 10. Kimi wa Natsu no Naka and Kimi to Natsu no Naka, I gave a 9. I'd bump that down to an 8. That feels like really strong. Wanna Try Dating Inoue by Fujitobi. This was cute. I gave it a 9. I'll keep that 9. Yuki to Matsu, I gave a 10. I would bump that down to a 9. Because of long hair. Sorry. I am who I am. I should probably look into other work that mangaka has done because I definitely enjoyed it for what it was. Heaven in the Hell, Tengoku in the Hell by Mushiba, I gave a 9. I'd say I'd keep that at a 9. I feel like I might bump that to a 10, but I think I'll keep the 9 for what it is now. I definitely wouldn't want to revisit that one. Rational Romance, I gave a 10. I feel like I would give Rational Romance a 9 or an 8. I just remember the guy with black hair being really hot, and I feel like that's what's really driving the score up. But I feel like if I look at it with post-nut clarity, maybe it would be closer to like a 9 or an 8. The Job of a Temporary Teacher, I gave a 7. I'd bump that down to a 6. Maybe a 5. I didn't enjoy the dynamic. I didn't enjoy the coupling. The Perfect Combo by Oketsu Fumio, I think was baseball related, right? Oh, Sekaiichi is also up here in case you didn't know. Perfect Combo, I gave it a 2. That might need to be revisited, but at the same time, I don't know that I'd want to revisit it. The Demon Wants to Be a Good Boy is a 3. All these low-ass scores. Why would I give such a low score? Oh, yeah, I didn't love the art for this one. I'll say I'll maintain that 3. Public I gave a 9. I give Public a 10. Public was incredible. I need to look into more of that mangaka because I love their art and I love their brain. Awkward Silence, I don't even remember. I remember reading this, but I don't remember it, like what goes on. And I gave it a 9. I don't want to revisit it. I don't feel a need to revisit it. I'd bump that down to a 7. Titan's Bride, the anime, I gave a 6. I'd bump it up to a 7. Anti-PT, I gave a 7, but I dropped it. I would give Anti-PT 6 because the bodies were nice, but I really, in retrospect, don't care for those characters. Umibe no Étranger, the movie, I gave an 8. I feel like I've definitely read this manga before the anime came out, but I don't have it documented anywhere, and I don't have a score for it. But as for the anime, I gave it an 8. I liked the gray-haired boy, but I did not like the kid with the black hair. I feel like it's more accurate to say a 6. History 3, I gave an 8. I'll maintain that. I remember there was a plot, and I couldn't tell you what it is. But I remember it being a thing. Painter of the Night, I gave it 2. I need to revisit Painter of the Night. I feel like if we're talking about the holy trinity of BL manhwa that gets people clutching their pearls, it's Painter of the Night, Killing Stalking, and Jinx. And I'm planning to get to Jinx, so I might as well revisit Painter of the Night. Salad Days, I gave an 8. That little swan shit just annoyed the fuck out of me. And it was cute art, but I didn't love the art either. Salad Days, I would give a 5, actually, because I also dropped that one, and it gradually bored the fuck out of me. It bored me basically out of consuming it. Perfect Man or Perfect XXX, I gave it 8. I'm gonna bump that down to a 7. I loved that there was like a whole, this mild spoilers for it, so skip ahead a few seconds. I love that there was a whole plot point of like 2 side characters having sex in a hotel room, and it was purposely to like tire the other one out or like injure the other one. So when they played their game, he won. Genius! So we need more of that. Zhiyao, I gave a 9. I'd bump Zhiyao up to a 10. It is not the cutest thing, but it is the cutest thing. Like, not the cutest looking thing, but it is the cutest thing. So I would bump that up to a 10. Marudase Kintaro, I gave an 8. I'll maintain that. That shit was goofy and hysterical as fuck. Some people hate that shit, and I'm like, you have no sense of humor. Yes Ka no Ka Hanban Ka, I also gave an 8. I would also want to revisit this. I feel like there's a potential that I would bump it down to a 7, but for now, I'll maintain that 8. It's also not something I'm like dying to rewatch either. Zaku and Heaven, I gave a 6. I would bump Gaku in Heaven at least up to a 7. Gaku in Heaven is like what we need. We need a Gaku in Heaven remake with a different route. Kimi wa Boku no Hime-sama, one of my favorite BL manga. I gave a 10. I will maintain that 10. Didn't love the spinoff. Do I have the spinoff on here? Maybe I wasn't as thorough about this list as I thought. But I remember I didn't enjoy the spinoff, like really at all. Didn't enjoy the characters, didn't enjoy the romance, didn't enjoy the story. Life Senjo no Bokura, I gave an 8, but I actually want to revisit. Because at the time, people know that I loved Complex, and they were like, oh, this is similar to Complex. So like, if it wasn't going to be literally Complex, I wasn't going to give it a positive score. Although 8 is still fairly positive, but maybe it would be maybe up to a 9, but I definitely would want to revisit it. It's only 5 chapters, so. Yellow by Makoto Tatano. Gave it a 6. I don't remember. I remember it, but I don't remember what the fuck happened in it. I would bump that down to a 5 or a 4, probably. It's 10 years I love you the most, but for some reason the I snuck in, so it's 10 years that I love you the moist. 10 years I love you the most, I gave a 9. I would bump that up to a 10, but I also want to revisit that desperately. It was so depressing. I would love to revisit it, honestly. Sakura Gari, I gave a 9. I would also want to revisit this, and I feel like I'll maintain that 9, because I loved how fucked up it was, but it also wasn't my absolute favorite thing. Don't Be Cruel or Hidoku Shinaide, I gave a 7. 7 feels right in terms of how I generally feel about it, to be honest, so I think I'll maintain that. The Seme changed his hair at some point because he was a changed man or some bullshit, and I was like, oh, I preferred the previous hair. And then the uke, I just remember annoyed me like the entire time, so. Cherry Blossoms After Winter, I gave a 10. I'm sorry, what? Who are you? Which Cherry Blossoms After Winter? This must have been off of the first 2. I would really more so rate it a 9, which is still a great score. And again, it's back. It's back. I will be reading the new shit. I will. And not anytime soon, but I will. I mean, but it's going places in the new shit. So, you know, maybe we need more. Maybe it'll maintain the 10 with the new season, but we'll see. Smells Like Green Spirit, I gave a 9. I feel like I should give it a 10, but I think I'll keep that 9. That shit is fucking hysterical. That's another mangaka I would want to get into more of their works because their sense of artistic comedy is fucking genius. Some of the funniest fucking panels you will ever see in your life. That's another one I definitely would want to reread at some point. Oh My Assistant, I gave a 10. I bumped that down to an 8. I liked the uke, didn't love the seme, but I didn't hate the seme. But I'm like, 10 feels like high, like real high for something I also don't really want to revisit. Kurogal, the anime, I gave a 4. That feels about right. I didn't love it. I didn't love the art. The manga is actually later on here, but we'll get there. 6 Lovers, I gave a 5. That feels about right. You know what? I'll bump it up to a 6 because it's 6 Lovers. Night Beyond the Tricornered Winter or Sankaku Mado no Sotogawa wa Yoru, I gave an 8. I feel like 8 feels right, but it's another one I really want to revisit, especially because I recently learned through a video that has been in my suggested for a bit, or at least in my analytics for y'all, that some of y'all are also watching. Hopefully it's okay to promote this video for that creator. But basically I learned that this is the same mangaka as Ikoku Nikki or Journal of Witch. Crazy. That's insane. So I definitely kind of want to rewatch it because I definitely absolutely loved Ikoku Nikki. I remember at the time being like, oh, BL is on the decline. Yo, I didn't know how good we had it. Killing Stalking's a 10. Killing Stalking is still a 10. I'm actually thinking potentially doing another Killing Stalking book club in my Discord server. We did it the first time and it was wild. Let me not get into it. It's too much. It's too much. You had to be there. I love watching people experience Killing Stalking for the first time and change from one person to another, whether they like it or dislike it. BJ Alex, I gave a 7. I would bump BJ Alex down to a 6. I actually really liked the uke. I just did not care at all about the semi. Side couple was at least like entertaining, but like 6 feels more accurate, but I guess I'll keep it at a 7. Blood Bank, I gave it 8. I would bump Blood Bank down to a 7. Blood Bank, I don't really remember most of, to be honest. When I think of Blood Bank, I think of how that video underperformed despite Blood Bank being everywhere for a while when it was popular. And I was like, oh, I'm doing great with the BJ Alex video, doing great with the Killing Stalking video. Blood Bank. And it was like, oh, this did not just perform as well as I had hoped. I guess maybe it wasn't as popular as I thought. Under the Green Light, I gave season 1 a 10 and season 2 a 9. I'd probably do a 9. I liked Walk on Water more. Once we got like flashback him with the shorter hair, and I was like, this flashback should have been the main story. It's making the main story look not as good. So yeah, I'd give Under the Green Light a 9. Mignon, I gave a 6. I'd bump Mignon down to a 5. I just didn't enjoy, again, Wanko Seme. 10 count, I gave an 8. The manga, because we didn't get an anime. I'd bump that down to a 7. I can see the hype in it, and I can see the appeal of it. I was excited for 10 count, and then I finished it, and I was like, oh. Perfect Prince, I gave a 6. We'll leave it at 6.5. Tasogari Outfocus, I gave a 7. Tasogari Romantica and Tasogari Terrorist, settled down Tasogawa egoist. So I think that 7 feels about right. Fukami, I gave it 8. I'd maintain an 8. Incredible sex scenes. Incredible sex scenes. Even though I don't love the dynamic, which is where the 2 points get taken off of. Kaji is fine as fuck. Fukami is not. You Who Wants to Love, I gave a 6. I'd give this a 5 for the Cool Mix sponsored video, I think last year. Was it last year? What is time? No intention to revisit it. Don't love Kimono Mimi. Zenryaku Onichan wa Seijo. Oh, this is the Be a Blessed Maiden, whatever. I gave it 10. Yeah, I'd keep that 10 because I do want to like continue that manga and keep going. I just haven't since something with a kiki guy or Sei Jeki Yabame na Otoko ni Nera Waremashita. I'd maintain that 9. That's another one I wanted to revisit and continue. Tomodachi Engage, I gave it 10. Mwah, that one was a 10 as well. Another one I would want to continue. When Holding Out for Temptation, something, I gave it 10. I would say that's still a 10. No, I'm gonna say that's a 9. I like what was going on with the with the boyfriend more, honestly. By My Best Friend, the manga I gave a 7. I'll maintain that 7. I just remember enjoying the manga slightly more. Loving Too Much Is Just Right by Ten Shiraishi, I gave an 8. I bumped that down to a 6. I remember I liked it because I thought it was funny and the exaggeration, but like I don't like the couple at all. Unexpectedly Naughty Fukami, the manga, I gave an 8. I'll keep that. The art I liked better. Evologia, the manga, I gave a 5. I would keep that at that. Titan's Bride, the manga, I gave a 9. I would bump the manga down to an 8. Fake, I gave a 7. Y'all know how I feel about Fake. I think I said yesterday that I would bump it down to a 6. That's about how I feel. BNSH, I gave an 8. I'll maintain that 8. Yakujitsu no Bara, 7. I'd maintain 7. Okanenganai is 5. I would maybe bump that down to a 4. I just remember like, damn, I got 4 episodes of this shit to get through. And then Finder, I gave 8. I'll keep that 8. So yeah, that's all the BL that I've consumed for the most part. And these are all the things that I've actually read as opposed to the things that I've read. Which I don't really document most of the time because I'm like, I haven't read it actually. You guys will not see me for a while because do you even fucking want to? I'm sick of myself. I was sick of myself before I did that fuck-ass straight voice. But if you would like to see more of me and see more content of me in the gap between me posting this video and the video I'm posting in August, you can always click join to become a channel member, or you can join my Patreon. I have my 3-episode ruling podcast, which will be coming out where I basically am going to be sharing my thoughts on all the anime that I watched this past spring season, as well as sharing what I will be watching this summer, if you're curious about that. Also, I have a 1K anime video series. I've watched over 1,000 different entries on my anime list. I've been narrowing those down over the course of the past few months in order to determine my new favorite anime of all time by process of elimination. That will be returning this Friday and be continuing weekly until it's done. I believe there's only about 6 episodes left. And then lastly, the outtakes and bloopers and cut scenes, because some things where I was like, you know what, maybe I don't need to share this publicly. I'll basically have an outtakes and blooper video from every single Pride Miss video that I filmed in this past month. You will get access to that tomorrow. But do you really want another video of me? I'm just saying. Happy Pride in retrospect. Hopefully I didn't annoy y'all too much with 30 fucking videos. You can catch up on all of them in the Pride Miss playlist. Revisit them, except for one that was, of course, taken down. I'm ready for a brief break, even though I have to get working on the video for August right away. But I'll see y'all in August. Bye!